Have you ever met someone absolutely convinced they're an expert, but in reality, they have no idea what they're doing? Or have you felt highly confident when starting a new hobby, only to realize later how little you actually knew? This isn't just a random quirk. It's a famous psychological phenomenon known as the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Discovered in 1999 by David Dunning and Justin Kruger, it explains why beginners often greatly overestimate their abilities. At its heart, it is a cognitive bias. Our brains trick us into believing we are more capable than we really are. Dunning and Kruger describe this as a double burden. First, people make poor decisions due to a lack of knowledge. And second, that very same lack of knowledge prevents them from recognizing their mistakes in the first place. Simply put, you need a certain level of skill just to realize how unskilled you actually are. To understand this, let's look at the Dunning-Kruger curve, which charts confidence against actual knowledge. When you first start learning about a new topic, your confidence shoots straight up to the peak. With just a tiny bit of information, you feel like a master. Psychologists call this peak Mount Stupid. At Mount Stupid, you don't know what you don't know, so your confidence is at 100%. But as you continue to practice, something changes. You start running into complex problems and making mistakes. Suddenly, you realize how vast the subject really is. Your confidence plummets rapidly into the valley of despair. This is where imposter syndrome kicks in. You feel incompetent, even though you actually know more than a beginner. But if you don't give up and you keep studying, you slowly begin to climb the slope of enlightenment. Your confidence rises again, but this time, it is built on a solid foundation of real experience and practice. Finally, you reach the plateau of sustainability. You are now a true expert with realistic, stable confidence. But here's the twist. True experts often underestimate their abilities, thinking their skills are easy for everyone else. So while the beginner is loudly shouting from Mount Stupid, the actual expert is quietly doubting themselves. It is easy to laugh, but the most important lesson of Dunning-Kruger is that it affects all of us. We all have blind spots where we think we do great, simply because we lack the knowledge to see our flaws. In the age of social media, this effect is amplified. Reading one headline makes people feel like world-class scientists. This leads to dangerous outcomes, from people falling for financial scams to spreading medical misinformation online. How do we combat this bias in ourselves? The first step is cultivating intellectual humility and curiosity. Never assume you know everything. Actively challenge your own beliefs and search for evidence that proves you wrong. Seek out constructive feedback from actual experts. Be open to being corrected and learning from your mistakes. Remember that learning is an ongoing journey. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. As the philosopher Socrates famously said, the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Let that guide you. Next time you feel absolutely certain about a new topic, pause and ask, are you an expert or on Mount Stupid?